How to buy a franchise using an SBA 7A loan. So here are a couple things you need to know about the SBA. SBA does not make the loans, but they guarantee the loans. But getting started, most of the time you're going to see the 7A or the 504, and they're useful for different situations.
Welcome to the Investor Financing Podcast, where we interview real estate investors and lenders so you can learn all the secrets to getting your projects funded and scale your portfolio. Learn about fix and flip loans, BRRRR financing, rental, fix to rent, commercial, multifamily bridge loans, business loans, and so much more. And now, your host, Beau Eckstein.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Investor Financing Podcast. And I'm your host, Beau Eckstein. And today we're going to talk about how to buy a franchise using an SBA 7A loan. Let's get started. So here are a couple things you need to know about the SBA. SBA does not make the loans, but they guarantee the loans. So there's a nationwide group of banks and non-bank SBA lenders out there, and some of them are called preferred lenders. And anyways, they finance the SBA loans. There's an SBA 7A, there's an SBA 504, there's an SBA Express, a couple other different. There's a micro loan. But getting started, most of the time you're going to see the 7A or the 504. And they're useful for different situations. I have a lot of people reaching out to me lately that are looking to buy a franchise. And so what we do for SBA financing is first we got to take a look at the borrowers. We look at Form 413, which is their personal financial statement, right? They have to be credit worthy. They have to have character. They have to have good credit scores. They have to have decent income, right? Because they're buying a new franchise and they have not yet run this business. The franchise itself could have been established and have 30, 50, 100 locations, but this might be a new buyer of a franchise that's coming in. Maybe they own some other businesses, but they don't have experience running this business. So they're really underwriting these deals. They're looking at the character of the borrower first, right? Does it make sense? They also look to see is this franchise on the approved SBA list. And that's a big thing too. If it's not approved on the SBA list, there's ways around it. There's ways of working on getting that approved. And there's also different types of financing that might be a better option depending on it.
You're listening to the Investor Financing Podcast. We'll be right back after this break.
And now a word from our sponsors. Want to save money on your taxes? Cost segregation is a strategic tax planning concept that saves money by deferring federal and state taxes through accelerated depreciation. Get a free benefit analysis today. Please visit costseghub.com for more information on cost segregation and all of our cost recovery services that can put more cash flow in your pocket.
Let's just walk you through. So somebody comes and they're exploring different franchise opportunities. They finally go to find one they want. And now they have all their costs. They have all their expenses that they need to start the franchise, the lease, their FF&E, their furniture and fixtures. They need to do, they have to have some working capital. They have to have different things set up, different TIs in the commercial spot. Maybe they're buying the property. You can actually finance the acquisition as well in an SBA loan. So the SBA 7A allows for financing up to 90%. Now, there's different overlays that each bank has, and each bank has a different appetite for franchises. Some of them aren't really keen on franchises. So we kind of got to navigate and figure out what bank or what SBA lender would be the right fit for this. And usually when you're looking at a franchise, you're going to get all the research documents on what's, out of these 30 franchises or 100 with this company, what the performance has been, how many are still active, and is this a good rated franchise with a lot of customers that are happy, right? And so those are kind of things you want to look at. And there's actually grading systems that grade franchises like a credit report almost. And you can see, all the numbers broken out, how long they've been in business, how many franchises opened, how many have been shut down, and all these different key matrices that you as a potential franchisee might want to look at. But as you're going through the financing process, you can get up to 90%. However, sometimes there's overlays. If you own real estate, a lot of times SBA is looking to put a second deed of trust or a cross-collateral lien on that owner-occupied real estate or investment properties. They're always looking to collateralize extra real estate because they're lending, high loan to value, high loan to cost on these type of deals. But typically 680, 700 credit score better. A resume that is good, that you have some experience in this industry, or some experience that you can use that's useful in this new business venture that you're starting. So that's kind of what you're looking at. And you can also have multiple partners, but the idea of SBA is that you're gonna be operating the business. So for example, a lot of people reach out and say, I want to finance this self-storage, and that's fine and dandy. But the question is who is going to run the business? Like if you're completely hands off, it's really not a good use for SBA. So there's some tests that they're going to look at, but you can finance self-storage facilities, the construction of self-storage facilities, assisted living, as long as it's an owner user type transaction. Buying the real estate too, as long as you're going to occupy 51% of the building, you can use the SBA and get 90% leverage, up to 90% leverage. So it's phenomenal for owner users. SBA is a great tool if you're looking to buy a franchise. I'll be a resource for you. I do look at different franchises. I'm interested in purchasing franchises myself. I think it's a way to build streams of income by buying a proven business model that works. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, and you just plug and play. The idea of owning a business is key in America, and I think a lot of us out there want to be business owners, might not want to be a W-2 employee anymore. So this is a great option, and to be able to utilize the funding available out there, it's amazing. You can also, on top of SBA, a lot of times they might not be able to qualify for the loan amount they need to cover everything. You can also, on top of the SBA piece, you can get equipment financing. You can get unsecured business loans and put those together. You can also maybe look at your retirement account. Maybe you can borrow against it, depending on what kind of retirement account it is. Sometimes you can borrow, there's different rules, but you can borrow up to $50,000 depending on what's in your account. You can even do a ROBS plan. I'm not an expert in that by any means, but you can also look into a ROBS plan where you roll over into a business entity that you're starting a business, and actually it's like almost like self-directing, but for your business. I'm actually going to bring an expert in on that too, because that's an interesting product. There's other tools out there for people looking to buy a business, but SBA is obviously probably the number one choice if you can go SBA. SBA expresses loan amounts up to $350. On an SBA 7A, you can go up to about $5 million. And actually, sometimes you can go larger, because some of these SBA lenders that are doing construction can do a conventional loan with an SBA loan. So you can sometimes get $10, $12 million loans by doing conventional and SBA together in a pari passu, we call it. So there's lots of options. So you can do that for assisted living. Sometimes you see it for hotel development. SBA is a great tool for you to learn about in whatever business that you're running and operating, or businesses that you want to start. I hope this was a good overview of why SBA 7A financing is great for buying a franchise. Please like, subscribe, share this podcast, this YouTube channel with your colleagues. I hope to bring more and more value to you, and I hope you enjoyed. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Investor Financing Podcast. For show notes and useful resources, please visit investorfinancingpodcast.com. For questions or comments, email info@investorfinancingpodcast.com. If you enjoy our show, please share it with your network. Until next time.